In this question, we are given that D denotes a decimal and we have to check if the value of D is greater than or equal to 0.5. Now, there's not much information that is given in the question, so let's move on to step 2 and analyze the statement 1. Now, according to statement 1, when D is rounded to the nearest 10th digit, the result is 0.5. Now, let's write down the cases first where the numbers after rounding off will give us the value 0.5. So, the possible cases or the values of D can be 0.45, 0.46, 0.47 and so on. And what will be the last digit? It will be 0.54. Now, we cannot take 0.55 because this, when after rounding off, will give us 0.6. So we cannot consider this case. Now from here we can see that the value of D lies between the range 0.54 and 0.45. Now let's consider two cases, or let's take two values of D. So first, when the value of D is equal to 0.46, then the rounded off value will be equal to 0.5. Another case that we can take is when the value of D is equal to 0.51. In this case, the rounded off value will be equal to 0.5. So in both the cases, the rounded off value will be 0.5. However, in the first case, the value of D is less than 0.5. So in this case, we can answer the question with a definite no, that D is not greater than 0.5. However, in the second case, we can answer the question with a definite yes, that D is greater than 0.5. Since we are getting two contradictory answers, we conclude that statement 1 is not sufficient, and out of the given options, we eliminate A and D. We now check the sufficiency of statement 2. In statement 2, we are given that when D is rounded off to the nearest integer, the result is 1. Now, just like we had listed down the possible values of D, which after rounding off to the nearest integer will result in 1, let's do the same here. So, D can take the values 0.5, 0.6 and so on till 0.9. So, the range of D is between 0.9 and 0.5. Now, we cannot consider any value less than 0.5 because if D is less than 0.5, for example, D is 0.2, this will after rounding off give us a value 0, which is less than 0.5 and does not satisfy the statement. So we cannot consider this case. So in this case, let's take the minimum and the maximum value of D. So the minimum value that D can take here is 0.5 and the rounded off value to the nearest integer will be equal to 1. Similarly, the maximum value in this range is when D is equal to 0.9 and the rounded off value will also be equal to 1. So in the first case, the value of D is equal to 0.5 and in the second case, the value of D is greater than 0.5. So after combining both the statements, we can say or answer the question with a definite yes, that D is greater than or equal to 0.5. And even from case 2, we can answer the question with a definite yes. Since we are getting the same answers in both the cases, we conclude that statement 2 is sufficient and thus the correct answer is option B.